Well, I'm
Okay.
joined by Scott Coker on a momentous week for Bellator. Scott, there's a lot to get through. Bellator MMA, let's start with your broadcast deal in the UK for 2021. Last year, it was Sky Sports, it was Channel 5, and it was also the BBC iPlayer in Paris, a history-making event. BBC iPlayer for the entirety of 2021. We know what that means. It's free to air. It can reach every home in the UK. What does that mean to Bellator to get that commercial deal with the BBC?
Boy, that is this is a big opportunity for us and for Bellator and for MMA, for mixed martial arts, because really until we did the Paris fight, I don't think BBC had ever played, live MMA. And evidently it was successful for them and it was successful for us. Paris was an amazing show. I mean, you were there, Gareth. It was unbelievable, to have, fights inside the Bercy Arena, which I think is called another arena. I can't remember what the arena is called now, but to have fights inside the very famous arena in Paris for the very first time, putting our flag in the ground. And we did the deal just for the undercard for the BBC, and it sparked a lot of interest. We started having dialogue with them. I mean, prior to that, David Green actually was the one that put this deal together, and it's a meaningful relationship. It's a true commercial deal, and we're very happy with it. And we're going to deliver some great fights. We're so excited about the lineup this year with Bellator, and now the fans in the UK can watch it on the BBC player, and everybody will have access to it.
And it's another step, though, in the mainstream acceptance of MMA truly on the sporting landscape. I mean, I don't need to tell you how big the BBC's reach is in the UK and globally, frankly. It's a partner that I would say be proud of, but it's right up there, isn't it? And it trampolines the sport again into a new dimension.
Yes, because there still are places on the planet where, it's still kind of, I would say the mainstream audience or the mainstream television. It's not like in the United States, where in the United States, look, it's on every network. It's on everybody has it now. So I don't think that it's like the USA back when I was doing Strikeforce originally in 2006, where Gareth, there was nobody doing MMA back in 2006 here. It was this taboo. Are people going to be, fighting in the cage, and who's going to get, are people going to, is this like human cockfighting and East Senators and people just were not supporting it. Right. And I think it really was in 2009 when we did the first CBS show. I think that was the first, Strikeforce did the first CBS show. It was the very first MMA show on network TV. And, listen, look at all the ratings today, even what the UFC is doing. We did 5.8 million people, 5.6 million people, Fedor fighting Brett Rogers. I mean, it was a big success. And, it's kind of, I'm not saying it's kind of like that time where it's just starting TV, because in the UK, they've already had it on, different platforms, right? And we were airing on Channel 5, which is our partner, and with Viacom, and we did a lot of good work. But the nice thing is now we'll have consistency, which means that, all 20 events or 24 events will air on the BBC player, and all the big fights and the fights we do in Europe, hopefully, in summertime or, shortly thereafter, as soon as things open up, we'll be able to come to Europe, and then, everybody will be able to watch it all the programming on the BBC player.
And on the detail, just verify for me. So every Bellator event in America, but also live, but also when events return to Europe, they'll also be on the player. Is that correct?
That is correct. So it'll be an all-inclusive place, because last year we had the Channel 5 broadcasts. Again, they've been fantastic to us, and we're so grateful because they were, our partner through Viacom, and we did a lot of good work together. But we also had to air the fights from here abroad, to air on Sky Sports.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like fans could find one location. Well, this is a one-stop shop, and it's on BBC Player. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Exactly.
I mean,
and you grow the audience from there as well, don't you? And it's about growing the audience. Yeah.
Growing the audience. We're going to build this brand there. And I think we're going to do a lot of great work together, because, listen, as excited as we are, Gareth, you should talk to them. They are super pumped up and really excited, and we're talking about doing a lot of collaborative things and doing a lot of work together. And I think that we're going to do some great stuff together.
It's funny, you know, because years ago, Scott, 15 years ago, I was part of a campaign at the time to just get the BBC Sport website to cover MMA, and they didn't want to. So we've come on in leaps and bounds. We are fans of this sport. You know, we love our sport, and, you know, it's a great day. I'm so delighted for you guys. And the response in the UK and on Twitter and in all those worlds that, you know, social media has been extraordinary today, and I'm very pleased for you. Earlier on in the week, you also had a new home for Bellator on Showtime Sports in kind of an elision with boxing as well. So it's got that seat there, and you also announced an extraordinary light heavyweight tournament. I mean, Phil Davis against Vadim Nemkov. Nemkov obviously being the champion at the moment, but people have got so excited about your two new signings fighting each other, Yoel Romero and Rumble Johnson. I mean, it's an extraordinary light heavyweight tournament, isn't it? And put together at an enormous cost.
Yeah, it's very expensive. And, you know, these guys all get paid what they normally get paid, and at the end they get $1 million bonus. And so it's a very expensive tournament. But, you know, this tournament in America will be seen on Showtime. We wanted to bring something big to Showtime. We know we had to launch Showtime in a big way. And I talked to all the guys, and they said, you know what, we should just have those two fight. And I said, well, will they fight in the first round? And they weren't jumping up and down about it, right? But at the end of the day, you know, we got it done, and that's really what counts. And when you think about the fight the fans want to see and the division that the fans want to see, this is the tournament. We were going to head in a different direction to do another tournament in the female 125-pound weight class with our new champion Velasquez, Juliana, and also with Alina McFarland. We're going to sign some new girls, and so, you know, and we got Liz Carmouche in there now. It's we were going to go in that direction, but as this signing just kept getting bigger and bigger in this weight class, I said, you know what, we have the best 205-pound weight class in the planet. I think two of my guys have already beat the other guy's world champion. Like, they've already beat him twice or something like. Somebody told me that story. I can't remember, but it's, you know, when you talk about top to bottom division, we have the best 205-pound weight division in the planet, better than the UFC, period. And that's how I feel. And that's how anybody that really knows the sport knows that this is the truth. So we started signing these guys and growing this division. And when you looked at it, you said, this would be an amazing tournament. This would be something that's groundbreaking, similar to the World Grand Prix that we had in the heavyweight division in Strikeforce, which was, you know, Fedor and Alistair Overeem and Josh Barnett, and the names go on and on. And this would be something, you know, equal to that. So we put this tournament together. We brought it to Showtime. They loved it. Steven was really happy with the tournament coming out and being. And I said, and not only are we going to have a tournament, Steven, we're going to have this fight as a first round eliminator. And I think, you know, everybody at Showtime was really excited because the whole world's excited. Everybody's talking about this one fight, even though the tournament's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to Bader fighting Lyoto Machida. You know, I mean, that's, you know, and Nemkov and Phil Davis, and, you know, all those fights are going to be amazing. But people are talking about Rumble versus Yoel because that's the fight that everybody wants to see, and, you know, and we're going to deliver to them, you know, on April 16th.
And it must have been hard to whittle it down to 8. There's no Mousasi there. There's no Liam McGeary, obviously fighting at heavyweight, isn't he? But there's no Liam McGeary. It must have been hard to whittle it down to those 8. Tremendous tournament. And also, you know, because of COVID, the enforced kind of elongation, if you like, of your featherweight tournament, that will culminate now in April and July, won't it? Which is brilliant news as well, with AJ McKee, Emmanuel Sanchez still having to fight Patricio Pitbull, the champion. So there's some great fights coming up. And presumably, I hope if you get the elite athlete dispensation, you can get some of our European fighters on those cards that will also be seen on the BBC iPlayer, hopefully.
Absolutely. I mean, Gareth, the plan is we are going to bring some of those fighters here and fight them on the undercard or on the main card. And like, we want MVP. I think MVP is going to fight early on. And so you'll see MVP, you'll see James Gallagher, you're going to see all
Brett
the stars.
Johns, Brett Johns.
Yeah, him as well. You're going to see all the stars that we've been building in Europe, but they just have to come to the fight sphere to compete, because we have a nice bubble there. The testing protocol has been fantastic, and we just have a good system there. And it's very hard for us to still travel. I mean, we can't. It's not like I can just jump on a plane and go to Tokyo or go to London right now, or it's kind of hard. So during this time, and I do think it's going to get better here really quick, but I mean, in a very short amount of time. But during the time that we are still in this COVID situation, we're going to have the Europeans come to the U.S. and compete here, but it'll be broadcast in a time zone that's not too late for the European market.
So, I know you won't be able to put a date on it, but realistically, because you're always planning 6, 8, 10 months ahead even, we've had enough talks over the years. Can you put a time frame on returning to the UK and Europe and Dublin?
That's really going to be based upon the laws of the government at that time, because we really can't move until the government says we can move. And I know that once people start getting their vaccines, then I think it'll be a little bit easier to navigate. But right now, there's still a travel ban, right, put on by the government, our government, and I think your government. And it's hard to navigate. And so once that navigation gets cleared up, then we'll be back on the road. I miss going on the road. I miss being in London. It's one of my favorite cities on the planet. I miss going to the fights in Tokyo. I was hoping that I could go to the fight that they're going to have, I think sometime in May, but I still, they said you have to quarantine for 14 days when you get here, with an ankle bracelet on maybe, or something like that. But I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to stay home, watch it on TV, on pay-per-view. But, at the end of the day, it really comes down to what does it look like for the worldwide travel, ban situation. Once we can figure that out, Gareth, we will be on the road. I promise you, the minute it goes. We want to promote back in London. We want to go to Dublin. We want to go to Italy. We want to go to France. Again, we have plans to, still go out there and grow the European market and grow the UK market, because I think in the last 2 years we've done such good work there, laid such a great foundation, and with BBC, it's just going to take it to a new level.
Well, congratulations on getting the deal. It's great to see you, Scott. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Gareth. We'll see you soon.